What's up, guys? Do me a favor. If you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section that I'm loud and clear. And I am going to try to kind of adjust this a little bit. I'm usually sitting a little bit further back. How is everyone doing today? This is a super long day for me. But like I said in the chat, it is really nice to end it with you guys. We have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. A lot of really cool credit card news in the last couple of days. Okay, John says he hears us loud and clear. Bobby Yakuza's in the house. We got Lonnie from Call Me Lonnie. Guys, if you haven't seen Call Me Lonnie's channel, check it out. I always say that, especially for the guys that are semi-new to the game, because besides the production value and everything, the guy has a different perspective than a lot of us. And I always like to see and hear about other ways of doing business because it is quite different than mine. And it's very interesting. So if you have not checked out Call Me Lonnie's channel, you're missing out. Absolutely check it out. He has some big league videos and he's a Chase guy. So you guys should love that. Who else we got here? John, appreciate you, man. Eduardo Cadillo. I love the Latino names, man. Big time Latino names. Eduardo. Sendo's in the house. Curmudgeon extraordinaire. What's up, man? Ivan. Hello. Ivan says the City Rewards Plus is a good card to help with redemptions. Yep, you're right. Chris V, what's up, my man? Ron West just came from Lonnie's live stream. Okay, well, I missed it. I had to eat, so I probably wouldn't be able to watch it. But I'm going to go back and watch it tomorrow probably. Phil Mo's in the house. James Chafin. What's up, man? All right, guys. How many we got? We got 40 people in here already. That's super fast. That's kind of mind-blowing for me. So I love the title on this video. Uncle Luke. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. D'Amico. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mr. D'Amico. Call Me Lonnie says hit the like button. Please do. So, guys, let's get started. We've got a ton of dudes in here already, and I'm going to try to slow down my speech patterns so you guys can understand me. But we have some news today. Let's talk about maybe something that went a little under the radar. Let me fix my glass. These are older glasses. U.S. Bank Altitude Connect. Who here heard about that today besides all the Wells Fargo stuff? U.S. Bank Altitude Connect was it was middle of the road card, but it just got butchered by U.S. Bank. It earned points. I think it earned 4 times points on gas and some other stuff, and it was one of those altitude cards. So the family of U.S. Bank altitude cards were pretty solid on the cashback side, but they changed the points for that card. Instead of 1 cent per point, they're 0.8 cents per point. And what that did was it changed like 4% cash back on gas, changes to 3.2% cash back on gas. They're taking away the annual fee because they kind of have to because it shouldn't have an annual fee. But Sendo, what's confusing, man? Anyway, that was the lesser known news for today, and it sounds like we don't have a whole bunch of U.S. Bank altitude guys. But if you are Team Cashback, kind of a blow to the system. And I was really big on U.S. Bank cashback cards. I do have the U.S. Bank Cash Plus, and I think that is one of the most underrated cards in the whole game. But that Altitude Connect, really not going to be worth it unless they plan on doing a huge refresh to a bunch of stuff. I don't get it. They made a okay card, pretty much something that we won't even look at. It does have a big bonus, but that's probably in September when that annual fee goes away. I imagine the bonus will be changed too. Cesar Joel is in the house. He's the big time Boricua down there. It's down south in Puerto Rico. One of my favorite places I ever visited as a young sailor, twice. The J-Man just got here. Can I catch you up? We were just briefly mentioning the US Bank Altitude Connect. Not a big deal for a lot of people because it doesn't sound like any of us had the card to begin with. So we'll move on. We want to talk about we really want to talk about this Wells Fargo stuff. Before I get started on what I think of it, put your comment next there and tell me what you think. I'm like everyone else, man. I sat around and looked at the different videos and the different comments and the different opinions, and they really are all over the place. People were, and I want to say just for titles and clickbait, but it was the Chase Sapphire preferred killer. I don't think we're in the realm of killing cards with this one, but Curmudgeon says he thinks it's pretty solid. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, Matt Clausen says the changes to the Connect are rough. Absolutely. They kind of killed the card, I think. I don't know why anybody's getting it aside from the bonus, and we'll see what happens to that bonus. And he's right. It was a 4% cashback gas card. Kind of fit in almost everybody's wallet. Filmo says that the Wells Fargo card's pretty good, and it's great if you're a Choice Hotels guy. Choice Hotels is a sleeper program that I don't think people are starting to talk about them a little more now with the new card and the transfer partners. And I think some of the bigger people in this game are talking about how you can get great value from Choice in places like Scandinavia and Japan. The Cambria and the Ascend collection are two Choice Hotel properties. Guys, those are really, really nice. You can get great value there. Michael Williams is already talking about the Autograph Beyond card. Yeah, I think this one has us really curious about if there's going to be a high end, because a lot of the negative things I saw about this card was no primary rental car, no primary insurance for the rental car, no lounge, no premium benefits. And I don't think that's fair, because I don't think this was meant to be a card that provided you with all your travel benefits. I think this was, but at the same time, I'm a little confused, because is this new card with a $95 annual fee, is it better than the Autograph? The Autograph with transfer partners is pretty solid. And Matt Clausen, I do have a question for you. You're the expert on this. Will we be able to use the cash back from the Wells Fargo Active Cash to transfer into Wells Fargo points? I know you mentioned you could do it, but it was kind of a roundabout or a pain in the butt way. I'm just curious, can we definitively say that the 2% catch-all Active Cash will contribute to a Wells Fargo duo, trifecta, setup, whatever? That's the big question. Jesus says Choice Hotels, Wells Fargo card sounds like a job for Dugras. Here? Yeah, definitely. He's going to be stopping in, some German-sounding name town in Iowa, staying at the Comfort Inn to see the world's largest boot or something. I love Dugras. Okay, so John says the Beyond is going to be the premium card. We'll see how that goes. John also says Cambrias are amazing. I've looked at a lot of Cambrias. I can't wait to stay there. David Williams says Wells now a lot like Citibank, but better. I don't know about that. Ivan says regarding Wells Fargo, it's another card to get transferable currencies for churners. So let's talk about this card real quick. It sounds like just like you guys are like everyone else, we're kind of all over the place on this one. CJ says Wells Fargo is playing this right. Instead of taking the Capital One Venture X approach, giving us everything and rolling it back. I'm gonna push back a little bit on that, CJ. I think we're doing worlds better with Capital One's approach. You buy into the hype, you get the card, you get all those wonderful benefits. They start bringing some of those back, and let's be honest. Let's be super honest. The ones they brought back, we weren't using anyway. But how long has the Venture X been out and there's been no annual fee raise? That's the important part about the Venture X. The Venture X is the card we all want to see stay annual fee neutral. Is some of those benefits, like I'm not worried about the president's circle at Hertz. I don't, it still has primary rental car insurance. And honestly, that benefit isn't being taken away anyway. It just expires at the end of the year. So the restaurants, the private pass restaurants on the VX, I was upset about because I always wanted to try those. But I do think the Venture X is still a big player because the annual fee's untouched. We can talk about the $300 credit, but guess what? It's still super easy to use. I just used it the other day to book a hotel in Amsterdam, and I can't wait to see this hotel. But I Wells Fargo, and at least Capital One came out with a complete set of partners. The 4 partners Wells Fargo came out with, while I can live with them, I think a lot of people don't like that at all about how they rolled this out. Matt Clausen says you can pull active cash to the autograph. Okay, cool. Urban Aviator's got the US Bank Triple Cash. I have that. It's a great card. Super good bonus. $500 bonus. Yeah. Joan D'Amico says everybody's a little disappointed because they didn't roll out with American Airlines. Guys, if you thought that several cards were going to have American Airlines as a transfer partner, you are just wishful thinking. American Airlines does not give those miles away. They just had a recent public service announcement or public announcement that they're going to focus on their loyalty program and the value of their miles. So I don't think Wells Fargo is going to get American Airlines miles. Hopefully I'm wrong. Okay, CJ says wants to transfer. See, the only thing I read was it mentioned the autograph. But if the active cash is in there, then really good shape. I think it's a big deal if you are looking to become a Wells Fargo setup guy. John says American Airlines will be announced later this year. If that's true, and if they do get anywhere close to the built partners, this is a much bigger deal than it is now. Call Me Lonnie says, I don't think it's a good idea to not have any of the big 3 U.S. airlines out the gate. Right? You can backdoor with alliances, and I think that's a rabbit hole we can go down. But most of the guys in this live stream if they don't do it regularly or they don't exactly know how to do it, they do understand that the Avios, the British Airways Avios, can be used to book American Airlines flights. The Avianca Life Miles can be used to book Star Alliance and United flights. And the Air France is a great way to use to book Delta flights. I've done that a few times. Really good way. Curmudgeons, I can't jinx anything, man. I'm too small. The guy with my favorite name in the game, Dong Kim, is here. Everybody say, what's up, Dong? Okay, so let's get into the actual Wells Fargo card. And I got it kind of pulled up over here. The welcome offer on a $95 annual fee card. I think it's a good welcome offer. It's a strong welcome offer from Wells. I do kind of wish they would have blew it up with 80 or 90,000 points just for like the grand opening. There you go. Oh, Glenn Ardonia, my Filipino head of security, is in the house. Everybody say, what's up, Glenn? His real name's Glendolyn, but we call him Dino. Now, 5 times hotels. This is an honest question, guy. How many of you guys right here, right now, are paying cash for hotel stays in a way that 5 times on hotels will be impactful for you? I absolutely despise paying cash for hotels. And if I ever do, I'm going to get 10 times points with Capital One through the portal or through Chase's portal, I think. Times 5 on hotels does not make me feel all that confident. Key says no cash for hotels. Hotels are super expensive. Yeah, it's like CJ says. I wish they upped that welcome offer just to blow it up. Wishful thinking is 100,000 Wells Fargo points. Just blow it up for the first 6 weeks. Get tons of cards printed. They didn't do that. 60,000. Obviously, it's not bad because all you guys went and got the preferred for 60,000 and won't stop talking about it, even though that's a card nobody uses. 4 times on airlines. Let's talk about that. A lot of us do pay cash for domestic economy flights. 4 times is better than almost everyone. Not counting portal purchases, it's better than Chase's 3 times on all their travel cards. It's better than Citi, unless you still hold the Prestige, which let's not count that. That's 3 times on their Premier. Almost all Amex cards, except for the Big Daddy Platinum card, that'll get 5 times. The green card gets 3. I think the gold card still gets 3, but 4 is kind of pushing that upper level, and I think that's really good. Glenn Ardonia says he pays for hotels. What's wrong with that? Glenn stays at the Shady Sadies. He has to pay a $13 deposit, and I think he gets like $11 of that back when he leaves the hotel. So if you stay at places like that, then maybe you pay cash. Most of us, Glenn, we stay at the Conrads, the Ritz-Carltons in Dubai. Have you ever heard of that? I'm joking because me and Glenn stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in Dubai. I'm pretty sure he loved it. Augie says he likes what the Wells Fargo is doing. Here's the thing, guys. If you were in the game, and I could be completely wrong about this, but I swear a few years ago, a lot of Chase executives left Chase and went to Wells Fargo. And if you can draw some kind of, similarities there with this new card, this might be the beginning of a kind of an expansive, big time card collection, especially when we get a look at that business card. Yeah, Keith S. got the CSP for $80K. I think I did too, just not too long ago. CJ's not paying for any hotels. Now, the general population will, but the general population's not on YouTube trying to learn how to get maximum value from a brand new credit card from Wells Fargo. Let me see here. Shady Sadies. Yep. See, John travels like Glenn. I always love the Shady Sadies on the side of the freeway. Maybe like a tumbleweed blowing past. Yeah, Glenn stayed at the Atlantis, on the Palm, the Ritz-Carlton, and the Marina, and whatever that Hilton that's built in the old school kind of way. It's a brand new hotel, but it's built like an old hotel. Kind of cool. Keith S. wants to know if Glenn gets the rooms you pay for by the hour. That's all he needs them is for an hour and a half. And that's with shower and, stretching afterwards and everything. Watching a movie. Phil Mo says he got 100K for his preferred. So, yeah, I kind of wish. Okay, so Tio Rico, yeah, I did miss your comment. Did you see my comment about Italy and Croatia boutique hotels and 10x city points? Yeah, the City Premier gives you 10x on hotels through their portal, I think until June of next year or till the end of the year, something like that. I did use that when I went to Panama. So I think the times 5 on hotels, little bit, it sounds good, but I'm not going to make a big deal of that. Times 4 on airlines, I think that's great. I think that's good. Times 3 on general travel. And if we have Wells Fargo people in the chat, go ahead and chat and back me up on this. But Wells Fargo, their categories are a little bit different than everybody else's. I think travel includes a lot of stuff. If they have cell phones, I think it includes regular phones. I think their streaming category includes cable and some other stuff. Like their categories are very, very broad. So, and I think if you can kind of dive into that, you could probably get some extra value out of some of these Wells cards. Yeah, John McKinstry says he paid for one hotel room with cash. Yeah, it's if you're in this game, I feel like a lot of us will pay domestic economy, pay cash, but hotels, it's almost all points. Okay, the city times 10 bonuses until June 30th, which you still have some time left. I used it. I don't pay cash for a lot of hotels, so I probably won't use it again. Let me see this. $50 statement credit for airfare. I mean, I think it's worlds better than the Chase $50 hotel credit. Now, everybody keeps saying, I can't use it. I can't. It's really easy to use. Just pay for one night, pay $50 in cash and the rest points on a hotel stay, and then book the rest of the stay however you want. It's really easy. If you can't do it, get a hold of me and we'll work it out and we'll get you that $50 credit from the Sapphire Preferred. No need to waste that. And that's it, and it's pretty solid. I think for a $95 fee card. Let me check the chat and then we'll get into these transfer partners, because you guys know your Uncle Luke uses transfer partners. And a couple of these happen to be my favorites, some of my favorites. Yeah, no name says the Chase executives moving over to Wells would explain some overlapping and the overlap in dining. Yeah, because it's a rule. You have to times 3 the dining. Matter of fact, I didn't even say this one. Oh, this one doesn't have times 3 in dining, does it? Basically just travel categories. Okay. Stan the Credit Frog. Guys, since Stan the Credit Frog is in here, everybody hit the like button just because Stan's here. One of my favorite guys. He says about 5X hotels. If you stay at hotels and build everything to the room, that 5X category becomes really, really lucrative. And he's right. And like, that's usually my Hilton strategy. I built everything to the room with Hilton. And with the Surpass, you're getting, what are we at? Times 34 times every dollar spent at that Hilton. So when you take off all the credits, because obviously you booked the room on points, whatever adult beverages or anything like that, you're getting 34 times Hilton points, which some people don't like, but Stan's right. If you can get a really good hotel multiplier, it's probably a good idea to charge everything to the hotel. Thanks, Stan. CJ says travel includes a lot, but transit includes a lot that Chase considers travel, like parking garages, limos, and buses. I'll have to find out where I found that information, but there's a lot of things that make the way Wells categorizes these categories differently, and it's usually advantageous to us. Ryan says this could be a nice bridge card. You might be right. Spaithco, is that how you say it? Spaithco? It's times 5 from the card and 15 to 17.5 Marriott, 18 to 20 for Hilton. Yeah, so especially if you have status with these hotel programs, that times 5 might be, it might be a good idea. Robert Jarrell says that Autograph has a broad travel and transit categories. This one doesn't, apparently. Okay, so let's go ahead and say that if we're in with Wells, we're probably going to get some no annual fee Wells to complement those. And I think the Autograph card is big league for a free card. I don't use it much because I had it when it was the Propel. It's actually my first travel card when I got back into this game. What we got here? That's Ivan said it's a pun on the word lucrative. Yeah, like your uncle lucrative. John's working on the Surpass, 170,000 point sub right now. John, I think that Surpass is a big time card. I think it's even better with the changes, but I don't know where I stand with Hilton right now. So my Hilton loyalty and my Hilton cards, there might be some changes to that one. Julia's says, do you get 34 times even with the $200 credit for the Aspire? Here's the cool thing about the credit. It's you spend it and then it's reimbursed. So yes, you will get that 34 times because it will hit your statement, you'll pay it off, and then a few days later you get the credit. So yeah, that's which is much better for us than a discount through a portal. But we are talking about a very small amount of points overall, I think. Guys, before we get to the transfer partners, I want you guys to give me a couple questions for Carlos. He's downstairs. As soon as we get a couple questions, I'm going to have him come in, answer a question or two, and then we'll get right back to the transfer partners. Carlos loves the YouTube. Most kids do. So I do want to kind of include him in some of this stuff, if you don't mind. Oh, where are we at here? Matt Clausen says you could hold multiple autographs. I don't know if there's an advantage to that. Yeah, Call Me Lonnie says always order it to the room. Absolutely. Does the built card count as a no annual fee Wells Fargo card? If you want the built card, get it. I think the built card is great. I don't talk about it much because I very much am pro real estate. I'm a very big proponent of all of you guys buying a piece of real estate. I do understand the arguments and the different regions of the country where that might not be possible, but I don't rent and I will probably never ever rent. So I just don't get into the built card. And I also don't see a lot of people racking up tons of built points. They're not getting bonuses. The rent is high, but it's 1 point. I don't see people, but I guess it doesn't matter when you're getting 200% bonuses to Air France, right? Victor says the original autograph is the best no annual fee travel card if you don't pay rent. Oh man, Filmo got targeted for the business platinum 250,000 point offer. Definitely get that, sir. Robert Jarrell says that clear makes the green card. Problem is foreign acceptance. Yeah, I don't even use Amex cards overseas. I don't even try. Let me see here. Michael Pythium says he just grabbed the Alaskan Airlines business card for 50,000 points. Michael, I hate to say this to you, but just a couple weeks ago, it was 75,000 for the business card. I got it. But 50,000 is great. Thinking about Finnair's new business class to Rome. I like that. If you do that, I want to hear about it. Okay, so I'm going to bring Carlos up here. If I can find his. Sorry, I should have. All right. Ryan wants to know what Carlos's favorite travel experience was. He has a favorite for sure. He might have two pretty distinct travel experiences. Book all travel 4 times built on rent day. Yeah, those type of restrictions and those boxes are tough to. Some people can probably do that, but if I see something I want to book, I'm not waiting because it could go away really fast. Carlos' favorite pizza toppings. Thank you, Dong. You're better off putting rent towards a new sub on any other card. Thank you, Andrew. I believe you are correct. Rent traditionally was a payment that a lot of folks use just for subs, especially those high rent areas. What hotel do I recommend near Progressive Field? Where's Progressive Field? Is that Cleveland? If it's so, I don't know. I don't go to Cleveland. I'm a Cincinnati fan. I'm a Southern Ohio boy. Northern Ohio is a much different planet to me. Chad Pennycuff's in the house. Oh, Glenn, where's he at? Let's find out where Carlos is. We're going to FaceTime Carlos. Come up here. Sorry for the delay. No, Key, I'm not in Cleveland. I'm in Columbus. And funny story about Cleveland and Cincinnati. When I decided to get back into football as a fan, because I grew up, people love the Bengals and the Browns. I went to both cities for a game, and Cleveland, the drive to Cleveland sucks. So I did go. We had a lot of fun at Cincinnati. Carlos, we have a couple questions for you. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Glenn wants to know if you have a crush at school. He has a girlfriend. He has a fiance, right? So he does. Another question is, what was your favorite, not location, but your favorite traveling experience so far? What? Just think of something you had fun doing. Ireland, the Blarney Castle.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question. Move over here a little bit. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
All right, thank you, sir. Say goodbye.
Bye.
All right. Eugene, Victoria, I am not working on a sub right now. I think I've gotten 36 or 38 cards in the last 3 years, and it turns out I'm starting to get declined for new accounts. So I'm not working on any sub right now. The last card I got was the business Alaska Airlines, and I paid my property taxes with it. So hit it in one day. Chase Yokoyama is in the house. Guys, if you are not watching Chase Yokoyama videos and TikToks and shorts, you have to do it. Chase was my brother in Honolulu. Doesn't live there anymore. So I'm kind of disappointed. I don't have an excuse to go to Honolulu just to visit him. But I'm sure most of you guys have seen his channel. But if you haven't, go check it out. He's another big leaguer. And a super cool dude. He was at the creator meetup in Vegas. So we have got to hang out a couple times. John loves the built card. Stan the Credit Frog likes the pepperonis. Chad Pennycuff says Carlos needs a trip to Super Nintendo World in Hollywood or Orlando. That's a great idea. We do need to do another Orlando kind of boys trip pretty soon. Orlando's cool because there's just tons of stuff for them to do there. All right, guys, let's talk about these transfer partners because I think that's a point of contention for a lot of guys. And I think that's where a lot of people get hung up because they want 18 partners. And I think they're going to get there. I think it takes a little bit of time to build it out. Now, here's my opinion. Is this card worth getting before they build it out? I'll tell you why. This is funny. I would choose to get this card. I'm not getting this card, first off. But if I were interested in getting this card, I would not let these transfer partners stop me. And I'll tell you why. Let's do Avianca Life Miles. Avianca is the largest airline in Colombia. And if you've never been to South America, that might be a really good thing for you to start thinking about. Colombia does have its issues, but Colombia is apparently super beautiful and a great place to visit. I did go to Panama in January, and everybody from Panama is coming from Colombia. So we got to talk with a lot of people, a lot of Colombians, and I think that'll be a super place to check out, super awesome place to check out. But Avianca, you can book United flights, domestic economy United flights, cheaper with Avianca a lot of times than you can with United. But this is my opinion. Your best use case for Avianca is North America to Europe. Let me give you a couple examples. And I don't want to use all. I don't I don't book a bunch of West Coast flights, so I don't have a bunch of examples for you. But JFK to Geneva, Switzerland, 63,000 Avianca Life miles, very low fees. Chicago ORD to Vienna, Austria, 63,000. You've got flights from Washington Dulles to Belgium. I think they might be less than that. But Avianca has that 63,000 life miles from North America direct to Europe in business class. And it's partner business class. If you're flying to Zurich, you're going to be flying on Swiss Air. If you're flying to Belgium, it could be Belgium Air, it could be United. But great way to use those Wells Fargo points for sure. Let me see. Eugene Victoria says Air France. I have flown Air France's business class. I'm going to go down this list, though. British Airways Executive Club. If anybody doesn't know this, and I know guys have done a super good job of kind of stating this on all these brand new videos, but British Airways earns Avios, same as Aer Lingus, which is the Irish airline, same as Iberian, which is the Spanish airline, Qatar Airways, Avios, and Finnair Avios. All those Avios can transfer to each other. So if you want to do Spain, England, Qatar, which I've flown Qatar Q Suites, it's big time, and Finnair now. So those are going to be pretty much the same. And we have to mention that with even Iberia, but mostly with British Airways, you can book a lot of American Airlines flights. And you can book them cheaper than you can with American Airlines miles. I book all my Miami flights with British Airways Avios. Air France, we just mentioned them. Air France, you can book Delta. You can book domestic economy Delta flights cheaper with Air France miles. Now, Air France, if anyone does not know this, is part of a loyalty program called Flying Blue. It's Air France and Royal Dutch Air, which is KLM. So you're really only going to be able to fly direct to Paris or Amsterdam, two of the largest airports in the world. But from there, you can find millions or tons of flights all over Europe. K1 Decat 37, thank you very much for the super thanks. Appreciate you. Doesn't have anything profound to say. Just loves what we're doing here at the community. And I appreciate you. Thank you. But Air France, really great way to fly to Europe. They have on the first of the month, they have all kinds of different offers or, kind of specials. So Air France, big time if you want to fly to Europe, maybe not to Asia, because I haven't found anything good to Asia except for, I think, Abu Dhabi, and it stops in Paris. And that's it for the airlines right now. So you have two choices. Learn to use those programs to fly domestic economy. Use those programs to fly business international class for very good prices, or wait. And I'm not the biggest guy on waiting. You could also cash them out for 1 cent per point, as far as I know. So those are, but choice transferring at 1 to 2 brings up a really interesting case to where a lot of choice properties, you can get a penny a point. So when you're transferring like this, you're getting over 2 cents per point. Now, when you guys do it with Hyatt, you never stop talking about it. You think it's the greatest thing in the world. And you even dedicate an entire program like Chase just for Hyatt points. So give choice some props when you can get that kind of value from with staying at Cambria's and Ascend Collection. And I got another one for you. You can stay at Radisson's with choice points for very good value. And what I've seen in Panama and Colombia, you can stay right on the beach in Cartagena at a Radisson with choice points. There's some serious value there, and don't turn your nose up at choice points, because even though they have some terrible, slummy, terrible properties, they do. That Roadway Inn, I think, or there's a couple of them you're not going to stay at. But they have some nice stuff. If you guys plan on going to New Orleans, don't miss out and check out the Cambria in New Orleans. It's in a really cool area, kind of away from the French Quarter, but within walking distance. And it's a really cool property. So I'm a big fan of Choice. I have to admit, I don't stay there, but I'm trying to. I'm trying to find a scenario where it works to stay there. Kelly's credit says, or is it? I'm sorry, Keel's credit. I got these are older glasses. Keel's credit says, Luke, what do you think about American Airlines Admirals Club? Here's the thing. I fly American Airlines more than any other program, but I've never been in an Admirals Club, so I don't know. I have not heard, and I think the Admirals Club is the step up. I've heard it's great, but I don't even know how to get in. I know I don't have access to it. Maybe that'll change if I fly American Airlines business or first overseas. Do I have Eugene wants to know if I have a video booking Alaska Air through British Air. I don't. I have a video where I go through booking American Airlines flights through British Airways, and I would have to look to see if Alaska Airlines come up with a search from British Airways, but I think they do. CJ wants educated on Choice. Listen, there's a great property in Fort Lauderdale. It's the Ascend Collection. I think it's right off beachfront, so it's not on the water, which usually what that means is you can save a few bucks, but it looks super clean, and it looks like a really good place. The Cambria in New Orleans. If you ever go to Madison Square Garden in New York City for a fight or an event or Taylor Swift concert, you can stay at a Cambria in Chelsea, right within super close walking distance of Madison Square Garden. Now, here's the kicker with Choice. Nobody knows this and nobody talks about it. But when you go to book a Choice hotel with points, you're going to hit the rooms. The first room is going to be, 2 double beds, 30,000 points. These are for the higher end stuff. But the next room is going to say king bed, 30,000 points. Then the next one's going to say king suite, 30,000 points. And so on and so forth. A lot of different rooms are going to have the same price. When I went to Panama, I canceled this booking, but I should have. I was stupid. I shouldn't have done it. The presidential suite at the Hotel El Panama was the same price as everything else. It was a 1,400 square foot suite. It had a giant dining room, and that was the same price as the queen side, the double queen. So Choice, when you get to those really cool properties, and they have a ton of unique boutique-looking properties in the Ascend collection in the Cambria. So keep your eyes out, and when you talk about them, don't discount them, because they have some fire property for sure. Flying Blue flew from, where is YVR? It says out of Vancouver to Taipei on China Airlines for 83,000 Flying Blue miles. That's cool. That's awesome, especially if you want to go to Taipei. So there's options there, a lot of options. CJ said that's what he saw in his very, very brief search. All 5 were small amount over 1 cent per point. Now, you got to keep in mind that 1 cent per point, when you're transferring 2 to 1, it's over 2 cents per point for a hotel program. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you to go take your sweetheart to a Comfort Inn, but let's keep it real. There's some nice Comfort Inns, but I'm just saying that there are some big time properties with Choice that make that program worth checking out. Yeah. Michael Pythium said Admirals clubs are trash. The flagship lounge is nice. I had that mistaken. I was thinking that the Admirals Club was the higher end one. Filmo says they use Choice for overnights before early flights or sports trip with the kid. I love the idea. And here's why. The other good program for that might be Holiday Inn or IHG. But when I took my dad to Panama, it was just better for us to stay at the airport the night before. It didn't make any sense going to pick my dad up at 4 a.m. or have my wife do this, that, and the other. I said, just drop us off at 8 o'clock at the airport. I had to stay at a Hampton Inn, which was kind of cheap, but it was also like 50,000 points. Had there been a comparable choice property there, that'd have been a no-brainer. 20,000 points, choice points would have been one night, and it would have made a lot of sense. So Filmo definitely has the right idea with one of the options with choice. David Williams, there's a nice Cambria close to Disneyland. You know what? We stay at the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Disneyland, but I think I do remember. And here's just coming off the top of my head, when you're talking about properties that you didn't know that were nice, there's a ton of nice Best Westerns. Not lying. There's a Best Western in Miami Beach. There's a Best Western in Dubai. There's a Best Western in Nashville. There are some really great Best Westerns. So don't be a hotel snob. Yeah, Chase, a presidential suite with the dining room. And I don't want to explain in front of everybody why I canceled it. But let's just say if it was me and my wife, we'd have been in the presidential suite. And it would have been sweet. It'd have been really nice. Dylan Shang says he got into cards because he travels all the time for work. The problem is that he's realizing now is you have to book with cash for business expenses so he can write them off on taxes. How do I manage this? I don't see how that's a bad thing. So I pay with cash. Now my attention turns to how much am I earning? Because I'm going to take what I earn, the points and the miles that I earn, and use them for personal stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend as much money as I can that can still be reimbursed from my employer or the company I'm working at or whatever. Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Are we talking about you're just expensing them? That might be a little different. You're probably not going to want to spend quite as much money, but expensing it, you're still going to be focusing on the earnings of the stays and the cards. So I would find a program that is easy to earn towards status, pay for stays, write them off as business expenses, and collect all those points from those paid stays to go do what I want to do. Julia's, would Aunt Connie ever look at a choice hotel? Here's the deal with Aunt Connie. She would likely turn her nose up at a choice hotel if you even bother to tell her where we're going. With Aunt Connie, you don't even tell her because she's not interested in kind of contributing anyway. You just say, here's your ticket, or get in the car. We're going to stop halfway. She won't care. Now, whether you're knocking her socks off when you get there is a different story. Would a choice hotel knock Aunt Connie's socks off? If there was like a Chick-fil-A next door, maybe. Aaron Taylor wants to know if Aunt Connie still has her socks on. You never know with Aunt. Now, do you guys like how I keep switching up the Aunt Connies? I'm trying to give you guys a diverse Aunt Connie. She's always a different ethnicity, but a lot of times she's a really good looking Aunt Connie. So I hope everybody's pleased with that. I hope I can get enough different ethnicities and all that good stuff. DK or Kid Cat. Is that Kid? Yeah, Kid Cat 37 says the Cambria in Philly is a really nice property. Was there for a work meeting. Service is great. Yeah, don't sleep on the choice, guys. DJ Bruce Wayne. Luke, your thoughts on the Southwest card companion pass still available? Here's my thought on it. I don't talk about it that much. And you guys, I'm sorry, I can't figure this out. You guys know how I feel about Southwest in general. I don't really like flying Southwest, but I also think that companion pass is the most powerful tool in this game for folks that travel domestic economy. Would I want it? Yes. If I was if I was under 524 and the time worked out correctly, I would absolutely go get that companion pass on that Chase Southwest card offer. 100%. Um, and honestly, it would change my travel pattern for the rest of the year. And I think you can change the companion once or twice. Either way, I would either have to use it or I would just use it for Fort Lauderdale. I would fly from Columbus to Fort Lauderdale direct. I don't know how many times. If I was getting a free companion certificate, um, yeah, I would be killing it. I'd probably go buy a place in Fort Lauderdale. I think it's a great deal. If you have direct flights on Southwest where you live that you enjoy going to, I wouldn't think twice. I would go get that companion certificate. Absolutely. And if you want, you can use my link in the description. Shameless plug, boys. Brad Groover, we have not talked about the Hyatt devaluation or any change of plans in relation to that. Let's do that real quick. I don't want to miss anybody's comments, but guys, every single year, Hyatt changes the categories on a number of their hotels. Now, you guys have probably heard me say that the hype on the Hyatt program, while it's a great program, is a little bit overdone. But my criticism is focused more on the World of Hyatt credit card. It's a terrible product. But Luke, it gives me a free night. Okay. So that category 1 through 4 free night, you have to use it in a year. I have one. I scheduled it. Will I ever use it? I don't know. Guess why? Because I'm in the points and miles game, not to stay at category 1 Hyatt hotels. So you're forcing me to stay at a lower end hotel. Now, every year, you keep upping the categories of these hotels. So what was a category 4 last year is now a category 5, and I can't even stay there with that free certificate. The World of Hyatt card earns terrible. Mark my words, I'm going to do a video on it real soon. But the best World of Hyatt card is the Chase Ink Cash. No matter how you slice it, but Luke, it's a free night certificate. It's worth like 12,000 points, right? You can earn, $25,000 max on 5X categories. You can earn 125,000 Hyatt points with the Chase Ink Cash. That's free. Pretty simple. There might be a little bit of work involved or a little bit of, strategy, but you don't need the Chase World of Hyatt card. Because here's the thing. When you hear somebody talk about the Chase World of Hyatt card, I want you to ask them, how much you running through that card a year? The one that talk about the most don't even spend 15 grand for the extra category 1 through 4 certificate. You know why? Because nobody wants a category 1 through 4 certificate. Now, there are great properties that you can get. But for the most part, that certificate isn't worth a whole lot. And here's the argument. Well, that $200 room only cost me $95, plus the opportunity cost for getting a different account, plus anything you could have been spending on. It's just, okay, I'm getting off on a tangent because you guys know I get off on tangents with Hyatt. I love staying at Hyatt's. I'm staying at the Park Hyatt in Zurich this summer. And I can't tell you how much I can't wait to stay there. But the World of Hyatt credit card in its current form sucks. The business World of Hyatt card in its current form sucks. Too many better choices. And the devaluation adds to that. And this is what I mean. It's really easy to get category 1 through 4 free nights. But those category 1 through 4s keep getting pushed up in 5 and 6 and 7. So they're no longer available. So what do you have left? The Hyatt place at the airport. And I've got a Hyatt house north of Columbus where you can buy crack and get into all kinds of mischief. So some of those Hyatt properties aren't as great as people say they are. Sorry, you guys know how I get when we're talking about Hyatts. Thank you, Brad, for getting me off on that. Keel's credit. I stayed a few choice properties in the Cambria and Bloomington, Minnesota. Pretty decent. Usually get about 1.5 or 1.5 cents per point to 2.1. Oh, so 2 to 1 from Wells Fargo is a no-brainer on that end. Well, Keel's credit vouches for some of these choice properties. Now, like I said, they're not all good. They're not all somewhere you even want to stay. But let's say you're a road tripper, you're going to get some really good options with choice. I just think it's a program that maybe you don't focus on it, but maybe you kind of keep an eye on it for when it works, especially if you have Wells Fargo points or city points. Oh, Michael Pythium says in St. Louis, 2 of the biggest casinos in the city are choice hotels, Ascend Collections. Did not know that, man. Thank you. That's pretty cool. Fairfield next to Disneyland rules. Yeah, Chad. Closer to the park than the Disneyland. Yeah, that's where we stayed. No complaints. Really, really cool place. Super close. Aunt Connie is always barefoot. There's nothing wrong with that. Let her, she can do her thing. Filmo says the best Western card isn't half bad. You're right. And I don't think I would, focus on that, but keep an eye out for them. If you're not so, big league, you can't stay at a place like that. Cesar loves the diversity when it comes to his Aunt Connie's. She gave up wearing socks. Citizen Zero says, "Hey, Luke, what's the worst Centurion Lounge I've ever been in?" Well, this is not anybody's fault, but if it's the worst, it's the worst. I went to the Seattle Centurion during the worldwide pandemic, and it was there was a line. They had like little things of food or breakfast sitting there, and you had to grab it and leave. So you couldn't you couldn't hang out in the lounge. You had to grab like a terrible breakfast and then go eat it with the peasants out in the bullpen with all the rest of them, and Adam's kids running around, sleeping on the floor. So that was the worst. And I know they've redone that one, and we're no longer in a worldwide pandemic. So I've not always had the best experiences at Centurion lounges. I've been to the overcrowded ones. Charlotte is crazy overcrowded. The one in Dallas is overcrowded. I don't even go in the one in Dallas anymore. I go to the Capital One lounge. I just the Centurion lounge went way down on my list, but I still like to have access to them for sure. Let me see. Dylan says the devaluations with Hyatt weren't nearly as bad as they could have been. Yeah, but they're every year. It's once a year they do that. So they're not that bad, but they're every year. Augie says the Cambria and Chelsea in NYC is nice. I had reservations there. I was going to go to a fight. I ended up not going to the fight, but it looked like it was really cool. David Ruiz. Hey, Luke, spring break is coming up. Any travel plans? Absolutely. When Carlos has his break from school, we are going to the Sapphire Resort and Spa at Grand Cayman 7 Mile Beach. If you guys remember, I did a video on IHG redemptions, and this is a crazy redemption. And this is standard. This is almost always available. The Sapphire Resort and Spa it's over $1,000 a night. But it's always between $700-800 up to $1,200 and $1,300 a night. 70,000 IHG points. So I did a video where I booked 4 nights because if you have the IHG credit card, you get the 4th night free. So 210,000 IHG points. I want to say it was a $7,000 stay. So I'll be there for spring break. And I can't wait to tell you guys about it because I'm just really excited about that property and how much value it has. And it's on 7 Mile Beach, which was one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So yeah, that's my plans. And then we're going on our summer vacation in the spring. Like the day after Carlos graduates 1st grade, we're taking off to Europe, and I'll definitely be talking a lot about that because I put together a hitter of a vacation, a big league vacation. Dylan just got the Royal Hyatt card, hit the welcome bonus, which sucks, and he'll use the room. If you would have got an ink cash, you could have got 75,000 UR points, and you could have used, let's say, $20,000 over the year on the 5X categories, and you should know what I mean by that. Then you would have had 175,000 Hyatt points. Hear the dogs. 175,000 Hyatt points. And let me ask you a question. If I gave you, or you earned 175,000 Hyatt points, would you care about a 12,000 point free night stay that you don't want anyway because you don't want to stay at the crack house by the airport? The Chase Ink Cash. We're going to do a video on that. Maybe I'll start writing it tomorrow. John says, I'm not sure how you feel about Hyatt. I love the properties. It's the hype and the fact that so many of these guys on YouTube say Chase has the best travel transfer partners because they have a Hyatt. Hyatt's great. It's not all that. And getting 2.5 cents per point isn't the best value for your Chase Ultimate Rewards when you can get 10 cents per point at Air Canada all day. Cesar says the Cambria in New Orleans looks interesting. I wanted to book that, Cesar, but I ended up booking the Hyatt because I had a stupid free night certificate. So that's where I'm spending my free night certificate, in the French Quarter. DJ Bruce Wayne says, I'm correct. The bonus offer never improves. It doesn't have to. And that's another thing. Hyatt is so wrapped up in their own program, they're not going to give you a big bonus. They're not going to make it easy for you to earn their points. They're not going to come out with a premium credit card that'll give you status. They don't want to. They want all that stuff to be hard to get. And it works because everybody is in love with it. Vincent Pascal, would Aunt Connie be wearing socks on a hiking trip? She'd start out wearing them. You know, whether you're taking her to a place that knocks them off or you're showing her something that knocks them off, you got a pretty good shot if you're a good hiker. So the ultimate Hyatt setup would be Chase Sapphire plus Chase Ink Cash. How did I get a second Ink Cash? Just apply for it. You can get as many as you want. I'll do you one better. Just make it a Chase Ink Preferred and a Chase Ink Cash, and either a Chase Ink Cash and a second one, or a Chase Ink Unlimited, because you're going to get that huge bonus either way. And then you can get as many as you want. Chase doesn't care how many you have. With Chase, it's only going to be how much credit do they want to extend you, not how many cards. I have, in 5 months, I got the Chase Ink Preferred, Chase Ink Cash, Chase Ink Unlimited, another Chase Ink Cash, and IHG, and the World of Hyatt business cards. So they don't care. And I was all over 524 that whole time. Still am. Eugene says the Seattle lounge is a lot better now. It's huge now. Yeah, I'm sure it's great. Flubber Ghosted. He has the OG autograph, considering the journey. Get it, man. Aaron Taylor, can you travel beside LGA? Can you travel between LGA Terminal C and B airside? I don't know, man. I've been to LaGuardia a couple times, but I'm not that familiar with it. And I'll tell you what, I don't think I'm that familiar with any airports besides my own. Like, I can get to where I need to go. And with some airports, there are things that are familiar. But as far as understanding the entire layout of a big airport, my brain doesn't work like that. I can navigate, but I'm not going to memorize the layout of a airport like LaGuardia. Yeah. Kid Cat says the Centurion in Charlotte is packed. Oh, he says they have cheesy shrimp and grits. Yeah, they have my favorite thing about these airport lounges is They kind of try to do local cuisine and local food. The Sky Club in New Orleans is awesome. The Centurion Lounge in Charlotte is pretty good if you like that kind of southern e food. Love it. Okay. EpiBen 1 says the food is extremely expensive at the Seafire Resort. Yeah. I'm I'm prepared for it because we do eat a lot. So I think what the goal is going to be charge it all the room and leave there with a ton of IHG points. I like IHG points. Um, I really like IHG for affordable stays, like one night at the Holiday Inn Express. Always had a great experience at Holiday Inn Express. Um, Usually free cheap breakfast, but uh, David Ruiz is going to do a bit of travel this month. He's going to the Capital One at AID and Denver. I love that place in AID. It's sweet. Sapphire Lounge at LaGuardia. And if I have time, the AID Sapphire Lounge that opened this week. Nice moves, David. I do want to hear about them. The Sapphire Lounges, I'm curious enough about them. I may even take the Chase Sapphire Reserve for a ride for 1 year, even though I don't think it's worth it. But I want to see those lounges so bad, I might take it for a ride for the year. Now, when I say that, it's easier for me to do that than it is other people because I can kind of make it work. If I can get 75,000 UR points for referrals, that'll kind of pay for my reserve. So I do have some opportunities to do a little bit of stuff that maybe some other people can't. Guys, over 150 people in here. Slap that like button if you are having a good Thursday evening with the family here. Keith says he just stayed at the Hyatt in the Thompson Central Park. Newly renovated, Category 5 on a globalist booking. Suite upgrade, free valet parking and breakfast. Noon check-in, 4 p.m. checkout. Keith, the program's great if you can progress through those statuses. I do think that it's if you can focus on one hotel chain and you travel enough to hit that status, I do believe in the globalist. It's just the credit cards, I think, are not good. And I think the program is overhyped because here's the deal. I travel a lot more than a normal person. I can't hit 60 nights in a Hyatt ever. It'll never ever happen. Maybe when I retire, but Hyatt, and another thing that bothers me about Hyatt is Hyatt convinces people to do things they know they shouldn't do to get that globalist. You'll hear it. I booked 20 nights at a Vegas casino when they were under a Hyatt and just paid this much. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pay to get the status. Even if the math works out, I'm not doing it. David Ruiz says he's impressed with the speed that Chase is opening lounges. I'm a bit impressed myself. Like it does seem like it seems Chase is squared away though, man. Just as a company and as a business, as a brand, Chase is squared away. Nobody's going to say they're not. I mean, we can talk trash about their overlapping dining multiplier and other things, but they are squared away. I invest in Chase Bank, so complete disclosure. I am an investor in JPM. Not much, but Dylan said he learned about the World of Hyatt card. Well, here's the thing, man. If you have the card, you can make it work. I'm a believer that with the World of Hyatt card, you have to blow past that sign-up bonus and just hit the 15K. I'm a big believer in that. I think that gets you some spending bonuses. It gets you some Hyatt points. I think it gives you another free night after 15K. I think if you do that, you have the right to say this sucks or this is okay for me. But if you don't do that and you're just getting the card because you're a huge fan of Hyatt, then you're a poser. Eugene, spring break trip with the wife. Air France business class, JFK to Florence. big leaguer. I like it. The flyback from Naples for 20 is that flyback from Naples in premium economy? And with JFK to Florence, I'm assuming you're stopping in Paris. How long is the layover in Paris? Because that's not the easiest place to lay over. I guess there's a couple terminals in the Paris airport that they're rough. They're tough, man. But that's a brilliant trip. Good job treating your wife like that. That's a big league husband stuff. Good job, Eugene. Pad says the Hyatt card is something he legit regrets. Well, Michael Pythium, to be honest, outside of the Hyatt all-inclusives, I just don't get the hype with Hyatt. I'll say two things about Hyatt, and then I try to be done for the day. The all-inclusives are nice, but they raised the price on all of them. We did 5 nights at the Dreams outside of Cancun on Hyatt points, and my wife and son loved it. I thought it was okay. But the one thing I like about Hyatt's is I never have to worry about maybe it's just me, but it seems like their rooms all have pull-out couches or like pull-out extra beds, and that works out really well for us when we're traveling with Carlos because he kind of gets his own room and gives mom and dad some privacy. But you're right, Michael. There's a lot of hype. I am going to have a conversation with Sean from that BS podcast pretty soon. And he's like one of the smartest dudes I've ever heard talk. So I'm going to pay real close attention and keep an open mind because he's a big time Hyatt guy. And I do get there is plenty of value there. So I will keep an open mind. You guys know I'm not afraid to switch my stances when it comes to stuff. I used to trash Chase all the time. I still do sometimes. David Hamilton says the Altitude Connect from US Bank went from a one and done to a great sock drawer card. Okay, well, he likes the changes. Priority pass visits, global entry credit, no annual fee. You have a point there, sir. It does give you more value than what it costs now. Pat says the Bilt card is better than the Hyatt card, even if you don't rent. And I can't argue. Listen, the Chase Sapphire Reserve is better than the Hyatt card for Hyatt. The Freedom Flex might be better than the Hyatt card for Hyatt. Anything that earns Chase points, in my opinion, especially if it doesn't have an annual fee, is better than the Hyatt card. Yeah, Dong likes the all-inclusives with Hyatt. They do have some. I know the prices went up, and I haven't looked at them again. And the cool thing about the Hyatt all-inclusives are, just in my opinion, it seems like you can move up that room. You can get like a suite. We stayed at the Dreams, and we had like a 1,200 square foot suite with a different room and a jacuzzi on the balcony. So you can do that kind of stuff on points, and that's really hard to beat. That was fun. Luis Honorado. Love the Latino names. Luis Honorado. If not Hyatt, which hotel chain is best for Chase points redemptions? Okay, we're getting all on Hyatt. I will have to say this though. Of the hotel programs, Hyatt is the only hotel program that I will transfer transferable currencies to. I'm not going to transfer Amex MR points to Hilton. I'm not going to transfer my Chase points to Marriott. I will transfer Chase points to Hyatt. So I think if that's where you're getting your points, then Hyatt is the best way to do that. I like to get my hotel points with hotel co-branded credit cards because despite what a lot of people say, I think there are a lot of really good hotel co-branded credit cards that can be used for spending. Hilton Surpass, you can't tell me times 6 Hilton on gas, groceries, and dining, and the free night at $15K doesn't sound appealing if you're a Hilton guy. I'm not into Marriott cards, but the IHG card might be a little bit of an exception. I wouldn't spend too much on that because I would rather purchase IHG points. But you're right. I think if you're transferring transferable currencies, MR points, UR points, Capital One miles, which you can't with Hyatt is the only hotel program where I think that's a good idea. Exception though is Wells Fargo and Citi. I think transferring those to Choice when it seems like a good idea, and we've kind of been over that. They have great properties, but it's not always the best option. Chombe is a friend of the channel. Hello, Uncle Luke and everyone here. Do you still have Hilton Surpass card? I don't know what to do with mine since they took away Priority Pass. I don't currently have a Surpass card. Last year, I changed my Surpass card to a second Aspire card. Now, I do think that the Surpass card and the Aspire card, and for that matter, the no annual fee Hilton card, I think they're all really good cards. That said, I'm thinking about moving away from Hilton loyalty and trying to spend some time as a free agent just to see what's out there and to see if another program might work better for us. So my wife really kind of heavily pushes the boutique hotel experience. Like let's not stay at maybe the one that's optimal for us, but maybe the one that looks really cool. So we might try to do that for a little while. But no, Chombe, if you can't get, if you like staying at Hilton's, I think you could do really well with the Surpass. I mean, I love the card. I love the card with the changes. Sounds like everyone I know. Dennis, Luke, have you been to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio? World-class theme park in the middle of nowhere. He flies there from Cali. I have been there. I did when my wife's kids were younger, we did like our very first staycation. We went to Cedar Point, and then we went to Kings Island in Cincinnati, and I think we did some ball games or some other local Ohio stuff back when we had a house full of eaters and money was tight. That was the vacation for us. Cedar Point's great. Probably don't plan on going back, but the roller coaster riders will really love Cedar Point for sure. Eugene Victoria, what do you do for your day job, if you don't mind me asking? I don't talk about my day job because it's important to me to keep this completely separate from the day job, so there's no conflict and no questions or no issues at all. Sorry. So that's like the only thing I don't talk about. Sorry. Oh, okay. So your Air France is regular economy, short layover. Okay. So yeah, 20,000 flying blue miles on the way. But see, it's easier to fly economy. I don't know where you're actually going, but for me, it's easier to fly economy back because it's not an overnight trip. I wouldn't mind flying economy back. Okay, Michael, I was going to get to those questions, but since you brought it up here, great. Michael says, "Do I still think the Amex Trifecta is pretty good?" Well, I'll do it. He runs a Trifecta for his primary carry when he's not working on a sub. Michael, I'll go even a step further. I think the Amex Trifecta is the most credit card game trifecta there is. I think it's high annual fees for a big time rewards earning potential and a big time benefits package. So I think if you're and it comes with all the bells and whistles, it comes with all the pros and the cons. With the Amex Trifecta, if you're new here, it's the platinum, the gold, and the blue business plus. Some people can even add the green card. I don't have the green card, but the Amex Trifecta has the best earnings potential with the categories: 4 times categories, 5 times categories, a floor of 2 times everything else. But you have to use your noggin. You have to get value from the credits. You have to use the benefits. You have to sign up for the programs, enroll in the programs. You have to make a checklist to making sure you're getting all these benefits. It just so happens I guess I'm a credit card YouTuber. So this is my hobby. And that suits me. The last thing about American Express that's so hard to deny. American Express, like Chase, is really top of the food chain as a brand and how they do business. The folks that have been with American Express for any amount of time, a lot of them can agree American Express handles their business in a very unique way. They make a schmuck like me feel like I'm somebody. They make me feel like they're there to take care of me, and they do these crazy favors for me. I got a million stories about how I was wrong and American Express made it right anyway. So, long-winded way to answer your question. Yes, I'm still rocking the Amex Trifecta. And if some of the other Amex cards go away, the Trifecta is still going to be there. That's big time. I love it. And I love MR points. Nigella Bloom is in the house. Good evening, Nigella, if I'm saying that right. Sorry. Any updated thoughts on the altitude reserve, considering making an attempt at it? I'm sorry. I think the altitude reserve is an interesting play, if you ask me. Stan the Credit Frog, that's his main squeeze. He loves it. Here's where I have doubts. I don't mind cashback. I think cashback is great. I think, what the heck? I think you have a lot of potential with the card, but I don't think there's a way to fully effectively eliminate the annual fee. And the strength is mobile wallet. Stan says he uses mobile wallet everywhere. I'll be real honest. The only place I think I use mobile wallet is at a gas station. So I don't think I'm using the altitude reserve. When it comes down to the last few sub chances, I'll probably get it and then test it out. I have not taken it for a ride, so I can't give you a full opinion, but I think it's good for some folks. And I think if you're a cash back person, it has the Visa Infinite travel protections and stuff. It might be your jam. If you're a domestic economy, cash back traveler, it might be about as good as it gets. But yeah, if you want to make an attempt, get it, man. It's definitely worth taking a ride. Yeah. International man of mystery. Glenn, don't tell everybody that. They'll be Googling me, and then who knows what they'll find if they Google me. If you run an Amex Trifecta, you got to use it. Phil Mo, you're absolutely right. And you're going to see a million videos on Amex cards because they're popular, because they are polarizing. And it's so easy to flip-flop and kind of is the gold worth it? Is the gold this? Is the gold's fee worth more than I love those videos. I love making them, but I have never found a way to make any 2 or 3 cards better than the one gold card. As far as what it does, which gives you a currency that allows you to travel a lot, especially if you spend. Like Philmo said, if you're using the cards, if you have kids or you're 260 pounds and you need food, you got to have the gold card, man. Rob H is in the house. What's up, big man? Cesar Joel says Amex customer service is big time. I'm probably going to do a video soon of just the times Amex did things that they probably shouldn't have done to help me. I ever tell you about the time I booked a flight on Japan Airlines to go to Tokyo and Tokyo wouldn't let me in? I was not allowed in the country, and Japan Airlines refused to refund me my ticket. Amex just gave me the money. There's a much longer story than that, but that's the kind of stuff they've done. Yeah, John says when he's done with the Surpass sub, he's back to the Amex Trifecta. You know what, John? I would say do the sub. I recommend doing the full $15K. It's just me. I like to stay at $1,000 a night hotels. Reserve card sounds like a big commitment. I agree. You have to put all your mobile wallet spend. You kind of have to learn the real-time rewards. You have to, if you have a Visa Infinite, you have to get that book out and you have to read through those benefits because they're not all that simple. And if you have a Visa Infinite, you want to be able to use those big-time benefits. Primary rental car insurance, 6-hour trip delay insurance. Got to read those little things. Keith S. says he runs the Amex Quadfecta Biz Plat. Gold, Blue Business Plus, Gold Business, and Business Platinum. I like that a lot. I had the Gold Business a couple different times, and I think it's great. I think it's better now. But I didn't have a way to mitigate the annual fee, and I couldn't really put enough spend on any of those categories. I really tried, though. Didn't keep me from getting 2 of them and getting 2 big giant bonuses, though. Any predictions on future Wells Fargo airline transfer partners? Hey, I'll give you a real easy one. Virgin. They're on everybody's list. Virgin. Who else is on everyone's list? There's a couple. Let's do Virgin. Let's do oh man, you got me in a blank state here. I didn't take my Joe Rogan alpha brain. Definitely Virgin. We've got British Airways. We got Air France. I'm drawing a blank. I will say Virgin for sure. And I think you might see Qantas. You might see man, you got me now. I got to think. Let me see here. So I think Qantas you'll see just because it's an easy one to get and not very many people are going to use it because they don't get it. Emirates. I think Emirates partners with everyone. So I think you'll see Emirates. Yeah, Vincent says Emirates. Aeroplan, likely to come to Wells. Aeroplan is on most of them. Might see like Finnair. They're new, changing the program new. I tell you what I would love to see is Scandinavian Airlines. Super underrated program. Scandinavian Airlines is one of the few where you can do like a EWR to Copenhagen or somewhere in Scandinavia, like the direct flights to Scandinavia. Kind of hard to get for us. I'd love to see that. I would splurge on that. JP Knowledge is in the house. Guys, if you didn't know, JP Knowledge not only has a really nice YouTube channel, he has another business that helps people book travel with their points. He's a world traveler, but he's also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. Big time. Check out JP Knowledge's channel. I like what he's doing now. He's got a few videos where he's kind of walking around doing the conversation out there on the West Coast. Those videos are big time. And he's one of those guys. He's not just talking about it. He's being about it. He does some big time, super cool trips. And I like JP. The next time I have a few days to go to Asia, I want to go to meet him in Asia because he does it all, man. Eugene says, I'm trying to think if the Chase Freedom Unlimited, the Sapphire Reserve would be a better catch-all than the Venture X. I don't know, man. That Venture X is a big-time card for certain people. And it's essentially effective annual fee neutral. I think it is. I think it's easy to say that. So I think it's an easy card to keep, an easy card to hold. I'm a big fan of the Venture X. Not the biggest fan of the Chase Sapphire Reserve unless you're someone who can spend that money and not really have to focus on where that $250 are going. If you just say, hey, I don't care, I'm throwing $250 into my travel fund, I don't care if I'm not going to get that annual feedback. I want this card because I want to be big time and I want to get any 3 Sapphire lounges. Then it makes sense. If you got 35 cards, you have to be a little bit more. You gotta get your money's worth. Robert Jarrell says, I like it so far. The 45-day product page update is U.S. Bank weird. Okay. Daily benefits. Matt Clausen says Aeroplan likely coming. Listen, Aeroplan might be the only one you need if you're only looking to fly international business class. They have so many great flights. I could probably take my Amex MR points and just stuff them all on Aeroplan. Eugene, thanks for getting American Airlines. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Chombe, been with Amex since 96. They've always had his back every time he calls him. It's crazy. Turkish for Wells. I can see that. They just did a devaluation, and it would probably be good for them to have some extra partners. Matt Klaus says SAS just got bought into by KLM. If I can use Flying Blue miles to fly direct to Scandinavia, I'm going to have to start earning some miles because that's something. Well, I need 3 seats each way, so I need some miles. Philmo says JP's always walking the walk. Yes, sir, he is. He's a big time dude. Don't bother with him. He'll throw you in a pretzel hold or something, choke your head off. If I use Venture X at Costco, could I get better than 4.5 on international flight business class to Europe? I think, are you asking me how much Capital One miles could be worth? Yeah, absolutely. You Capital One miles through transferring them to partners, you can get more than 4.5 on international business class flights to Europe. Absolutely. That's not a question. 100%. Air Canada, Flying Blue, Virgin. There's a lot of partners. Singapore Airlines, you can get to Europe for that. Yeah, you can get a lot of good stuff. JP said that purple belt wasn't easy. That's a lot of dedication, a lot of time on a mat, and a lot of work, man. Congratulations. That's good. That's awesome. Kid Cat didn't know JP was dangerous like that. We'll mess around with him. See what happens. See what happens. What do you say? Wrestled at the state level in high school. That's what state, Kid Cat? What state? It doesn't matter because some of these states, my grandpa could wrestle in the state level. Got humbled by a brown belt that I had 30 pounds on. Yeah, but here's the thing. You take a high school state level wrestler and give him 6 months in a jiu-jitsu gym, depending on the person, that's a really good base to have. Sorry, there are data points that U.S. Bank gives sub after product change to altitude reserve, but without notice. Huh. That's interesting. We're going to have to do some research on U.S. Bank. Yeah, like David Ruiz said, Flying Blue miles for SAS will be amazing. That would be that really pumps up that Flying Blue program a lot. If you don't have to fly to Paris or Amsterdam. If you have to fly to Paris or Amsterdam, let's be real. I can think of worse places to connect or stop over. It's not that bad. JP, Carlos, I don't know if wrestling's going to be his thing. He's at the age where he's trying stuff out and figuring it out. I took him to wrestling way too early, like at 3, because I come from a wrestling family, and he did not like it. He 3 seasons of baseball, t-ball, whatever you want to call it. He did a season of flag football. He didn't quit or anything. He's still his favorite sport is football, and he just got done with his first season of basketball, and he says playing basketball was more fun than all of them. So if so far, if he's going to be a sports guy, it looks like he's going to be a ball sports guy, which I think is awesome. So I'm not really going to, I'm not a pusher. I'm not going to push either way, but wrestling's a sport where you can't make somebody wrestle. If you make somebody wrestle, because anybody who's, and I say wrestling, grappling, jiu-jitsu, sambo, folk style, whatever, wrestling's wrestling. You have to really want it because it hurts no matter what. If you love wrestling, it hurts. Nothing's worse than losing in wrestling. It's so terrible. Frugal Dad Finance says, I use the cell phone insurance to mitigate the fee on the Amex Business Gold. I have saved $57 right there. Okay. Is the cell phone insurance fairly new for the Business Gold? I don't think it had it on the previous version of it. Chris Barcelos headed to the Conrad Fort Lauderdale in April. Oh, listen. And I can't, my screens. And good food and drinks, listen to me. When you go to the Conrad Fort Lauderdale, the in-house restaurant is called Takatu. And I could be pronouncing that wrong. But they say it's a Korean, Japanese, American fusion restaurant. We all loved it. Pricey, but not crazy. I mean, it's not Taco Bell, but it won't kill you, I don't think. Takatu. Go there. We loved it. Loved it. Service was big time. Even Carlos loved it. Chase Yokoyama did some judo growing up. Didn't like it because he kept getting tossed around. Yeah, in judo, at the, I guess it depending on what kind of judo dojo you're at, it's wrestling. I mean, there's you at the YMCA, it might not be quite like wrestling, but I'm sure in Hawaii, you had some hardcore judokas, and it was pretty. You learn how to fall. Yeah, well, we all do some of that. Sid M says he's fairly new to the channel and the game. Nice to hear the little ones love basketball. Yeah, ball is life. Yeah, that's basketball as a dad is so fun to watch. I was not a basketball player, so I can't really coach. But it's so fun to see them play basketball. And I'm also a believer that you don't have to be awesome at basketball to find your niche on the team. If you can do something, you can play basketball. Which Amex cards will you be running to complement the Platinum? I think at the end of this run, the only Chase, what's for dinner tonight? Chase, it's 8:30, almost 9 o'clock tonight. We're done with dinner. We're East Coast, baby. We get up at 5 a.m. So we get up at 2 a.m. LA and 11 p.m. Hawaii time. Anyway, Amex cards, I'm hoping to be down to the Platinum, the Gold, and the Blue Business Plus, and that will probably be it. Will we rebuild from there? Most likely, but we're going to get it all the way down. Yeah, Chase, we had I don't know, some kind of chicken and rice thing. I'm not sure. I don't do the cooking. I just I just kind of eat whatever's there. Ricky's travel hacking. He's eating dinner right now. See, this is late it's almost my bedtime, man. Cody Little, 6:30. Okay, so you're what, Central? Not Central. Mountain time, right? I don't know. Dong is going to drink Dugras' milk. Platinum and Gold. Yeah, Platinum, Gold. And honestly, I probably will run the Platinum and Gold, and the catch-all will probably say the Venture X. Joe Barreto. Hola, mi gente. Boricua forever. Okay, so Cody Little has a question. What's one of the most memorable places you've been to? Love hearing from others. Well, it depends on what season of life we're talking about. Um, and I'm assuming a lot of the people in this chat are a little bit younger, so I'll talk about when I was younger. The Greek islands are amazing when you're in your 20s and probably 30s. So I would say anywhere in the Greek islands, like my personal favorite was Rhodes, Greece. Summertime in Rhodes, Greece, unreal, amazing. I say that's an experience that I'm really lucky to have. I was in the Navy at the time, so I couldn't super cut loose. But well, I shouldn't say that. We were pretty bad. But yeah, most memorable places at Greece, Black Sea ports like Odessa, Ukraine, or Constanta, Romania. When I was younger, amazing. I plan on really getting the most memorable places every few months now. In a couple months, we're going to Amsterdam, Malta, and Switzerland. And I think those are going to be pretty high up there in an older man category. JP says he got pinned his first 4 matches in high school. It's tough, man. Hated losing, wanted to quit. Coach cussed me out and made me stay. Yeah, well, yeah, you're probably right. Something that they wouldn't be able to do in 2024, but I'm glad you did. So because your folk style wrestling probably helped you get that purple belt. I imagine. I mean, the pressure and the balance and the body control of a wrestler, it helps you your entire life, I think. Frank says we touched on this in another video, but I was curious what your top airline transfer partner for all 4 credit card companies. All right. That's a good question. Are we talking about the ones I have transferred to or the ones I will probably transfer to in the future? My top is probably going to be Air Canada, just because there are so many opportunities to go to Europe on different airlines. But I don't want to go to Europe on the same airline. I want to try them all. So Air Canada, KLM Flying Blue, Air France, those are all the same thing. Those are always going to be up there because it's just so easy to use. They do have high fees. Avianca, I think I'm going to be using a lot in the next few years. Avianca for direct flights to Europe, but also Avianca, Miami to Cartagena. So that's 3. If I had to choose a 4th, I won't choose a 4th. That's top 3. Air Canada, KLM Flying Blue, and Avianca. I think those are big time. If I had to throw one for versatility, Virgin. I can book a lot of Delta flights here locally or domestically. And I can also book like, what's that, Air Italia to Rome for $75K. There's some sweet spots there. They're just, they've been difficult for me to execute, but I still think Virgin's big time. Do you know any way to pay payroll for small business using a credit card? ADP and Plastic used to work. Melio, how about Melio? Melio. I think I used that for something a while back to pay a contractor, I think. So Melio might work. I can't remember the rates, but they're comparable to Plastic, I think. Okay, Joe's got a new Citi card. I like it. I just did a video on Citi. Citi kind of draws some comparisons to this new Wells card. We're getting a big, huge middle of the pack in the credit card game. And I think we're all doing really well right in the middle. But I think the Venture X was the last card to really bust out and do something unique. Any suggestions for creative ways to hit subs? I have a couple videos on how to hit sign-up bonuses, and I've introduced people to some different things. And the one thing that I always surprised that people don't know about or understand is, the big thing right now is paying your taxes. But if you have a mortgage, most people pay their mortgage and put their property taxes and their insurance in an escrow. I don't do that. I called my mortgage company and say, hey, I don't want to do that. I'm just paying the mortgage, the principal and interest. I'll pay the insurance company. I'll pay the taxes. So every year, um, I have enough insurance and property taxes on two different properties to get a couple different subs. And then car insurance is a good one. Yeah, I have a couple videos. If you can find them, check it out. They should be pretty easy to find. And I have a couple small businesses, so any kind of business expenses are usually going on a sub, or I have a rental property, so any renovations, if you need a new furnace, all that stuff. But would you use? JP wants to know: would you use the autographed journey card if I had it, or are the transfer partners too limited to want to rack up points with Wells Fargo Bank? If I had the autographed journey card in my hand right now, I would get the 60K bonus. I would probably, if I didn't do anything, I would get the 60K bonus and transfer them to Air France, or transfer them to Avianca, or transfer them to Choice. That's if I didn't do anything else with it. Would I use the card to spend on? No. I have way too many cards for a card like the Journey card to break into the lineup. Not happening. I'm not booking. I don't think I'm booking flights on anything besides a Visa Infinite or the Platinum card, just for the protections. I'm getting old, so I see those protections as a little bit more valuable. No, I don't think I'm but I would get the sub. I would get that card just for the sub for sure. Do you ever go to the Boggleheads conference? I don't know what that is, so no. I don't know if I'm a conference guy. Frugal Dad Finance says Greece is awesome, especially with traveling with someone who speaks the language. Oh, he gets free lodging with wife's relatives. Good for you, man. Leanne Carter, that's a big question. Which one, Leanne? Thomas Yee just subbed a few days ago. Thank you, sir. We appreciate every single one of you guys that subs out. Ricky's Travel Hacking. Anyone else sitting waiting for an Avios transfer bonus? Ricky, Avios will have secret transfer bonuses where they're not like listed, but through Avios, they'll 10% that thing. Now, let's talk about Avianca, though, or Avios. I'm sorry. Never mind. You got me confused. I thought there was an Avios bonus not too long ago. Either way, there should be. They're pretty frequent. I'm sorry. I got Avianca mixed up. So I was going to go into the fact that Avianca expires. So I know a lot of people will plus up their Avianca account every single time there's a bonus just to keep those points active. I don't think Avios, if they do expire, it's a really long time. And just about anything restarts the clock. Brad Groover, what's been your largest points usage redemption and what was it for? What? I just want to know if anybody has any more questions. Yeah. Here. Yes. Carlos wants to answer JP Knowledge's question. JP Knowledge just got a promotion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he wrestled in high school. He wants to know if you have any interest in doing any kind of grappling sports.
I don't know.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye, Charles.
Bye, Dad.
Okay. Stephen Gwynn says, are you planning on picking up the Wells Fargo Journey card? I don't plan on picking it up. Not anytime soon, anyway. I have too many cards. I'm starting to get declined for cards. Thoughts on Nikon buying red? I don't know what that means. I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you, people. Chase, to continue to talk about credit cards, what are your thoughts on creatine, aminos, pre-workout, and other supplements? Would you say any of those are necessary outside of protein? 100% no. The fitness industry is a billions-dollar industry that's based on your insecurities, and people will pay anything to try to change that. Now, conversely, like when I was in the Navy and I first started working out, the big thing was you buy the creatine, the aminos, and the pre-workout. And when you bought all that, you're like, okay, I just committed a couple $100 of this, so I have to work out. If that's what you need to do to work out, then I guess do it. You don't need any of those things. But I will say this: when you start talking about that stuff, um, the next questions tend to be about drugs, and they start opening people's eyes to what the fitness industry is, and they're all on drugs. So just to jump from creatine to drugs, that's how that industry is. No, I would, if I was telling anybody what they should do is they should strength train and just eat food. I wouldn't buy any of that stuff. And I wouldn't do bodybuilding workouts. I would do strength training, old school strength training, and try not to get obsessed with it. If Citi ever drops the rumored Strata cards for an elite travel card, what perks and benefits would you want to see? Well, they use MasterCard, right? So I'm not sure if MasterCard doesn't have a version of a Visa Infinite, but I would want big multipliers. I'd want status in some kind of program for free. I would want primary rental car insurance. I would want some type of boost within their portal. And somebody's going to say, I'm not doing the portal. Sometimes the portal is great, and I'll tell you why. Let's say you have 200,000, 300,000 United miles, and you fly United. You go and you say, hey, I want to fly to Columbus to Washington, Dulles, but I'd like to get there around noon or 1 o'clock. Well, you see all the flights. There's a 9 a.m., there's a 10 a.m., there's a noon. You know exactly what you want. Well, let me check on awards. The award flight only has 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Your next best option is to use those transferable currencies to pay the cash inside the portal to get the exact flight you want. I just think it's an option, and it's an option that works sometimes. We're going to Grand Cayman in a few days, and we're flying American. American didn't have award availability for the flights I wanted. I booked it through the Chase portal. You know, I got a little boost, a 25% boost, and I don't like using UR points for that. But I got the flight I wanted. I'll still be collecting airline miles and working towards status. So that option, I think, I like. I like a little boost within the portal. So that, really nothing mind-blowing, just basic, I don't need a free night. I don't need a lot of those things. I just need a good travel card with big league protections, lounge access, and I want that card to complement the free cards. And Citi, man, I think more than any other issuer, Citi comes out with a superior, high-class premium travel card. That's a wrap. They won't have the biggest fans because the marketing won't be there, and some people don't like Citi anyway. But the legit hardcore travelers with a premium Citi card, that's a wrap. That would catapult them into the higher tier. Are they going to do that? Probably not. Chad's Money Minutes is in the house. Thank you for stopping by, Chad. Chase says Andrew Huberman. I think I heard him talking about that. Yeah, Andrew is like a science nut. It's like a super smart dude. Joe Barretto just hits with a 10 spot. Super thanks. Thank you, sir. Uncle Luke, just as showing some love for the support you've given all of us. Joe, I appreciate you, man. I love watching your stuff. I appreciate the super chat or the super thanks. Appreciate you, man. You're going to have to, we're all going to have to meet in Puerto Rico. We're going to have to go see Cesar and have some fruity drinks or they have rum? Have some rum in Puerto Rico one of these days. Maybe soon. Thank you again, sir. Ezra, I have credit card game fatigue. The points are there. I just don't feel like applying or playing the game. Listen, Ezra, that's a real thing. The biggest thing I would say with that is I I have a cash back setup that I kind of move in and out. And if I start to get that fatigue where I don't want to, I just don't want to play the game. Um, Push in that cash back, or just turn off your optimization in your brain and just collect points and say, you know what, I'll revisit this in 90 days. I'll revisit this in 4 months. If you have your travel already booked or you're not traveling this summer, just put it off later down the line. That fatigue is real. Um, if you're not obsessed with everything, and it's even if you are, it's tough. DJ October, what's good, Uncle Luke? Low key just got off work. Happy to see you're live. What's my next card? Um, that's a good question. I want to try to garden and get under 524. Um, I would say if I had to make a prediction for my next card, it would be a product change from the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Whether that's a OG Freedom or a Sapphire Reserve, you're going to have to wait. I said earlier in the live that even though I don't think the Sapphire Reserve really adds up money wise, I can still take it for a ride and come out okay. I can take it for a ride for a year to see if I like it. Andrew says, aside from creatine, the other stuff is garbage if your diet isn't right. I say that respectfully. Yeah, you're right. Creatine has proven effects for people. Do I think you need to spend money on it to work out? No, you're relatively young, and people that are relatively young, when they first start working out, they get really good gains. As long as you're eating a calorie surplus, you're going to build muscle and strength. The only thing I would say about that is I wouldn't buy any of that stuff. I wouldn't buy any of it. And I've been to some elite powerlifting meets where world-class athletes laugh at people that buy that stuff. I'm talking about the strongest people on the planet. They laugh at people that drink protein and creatine. They're all on drugs, but that's beside the point. But only advice I would have is you're a Chase. I mean, you're a super lean dude. Don't move away from that. Build strength. Don't focus on gaining weight or getting bigger. Just gain strength and stay lean, long and lean. Because when you're in your 40s, that extra weight won't do anything for you. Your late 40s, like me, you'll be thinking, how do I get rid of all this weight? So I would just, you're a naturally slim, lean dude. Don't move away from that. Get strong. And with strength, that composition will change a little bit. You'll get what you want. RV, hey, Uncle Luke, loved the roast video. Thank you. It was hilarious. Are you doing any other card roasting? Yeah, I probably will. The only thing that's funny about the card roasting videos is obviously there's some truth to the things I'm saying, but I am saying it in a tongue-in-cheek, kind of a joking way. But that doesn't stop these dudes from just slamming the thumbs down, like just crushing the thumbs down. It's kind of funny. Okay, Joe Beretta, Bacardi rum. We want rum punch. We want some of them drums and some. You could do those dancing moves, and we need cigars. So me, you, Cesar, and we'll grab a couple other guys, and any other Latinos that wants to go. We will get some serious Latin flavor, and we'll get some sunshine and some salt water, and we'll have a great time. I can't wait. Is there a Hilton Trifecta? No, there's just Hilton cards. I mean, I have a different way of doing my business and a different personality. So I would say if you want to get a Hilton card, get all of them. You can cancel them, you can downgrade them. But if you're going to get a Hilton card because you want to stay at Hilton's, get all of them. Get all the bonuses, use all the benefits, and then reassess. Ricky's going to Puerto Rico at the end of April. Ooh, lucky dude. I gotta take my Carlos to Puerto Rico for sure. MK, should I build a Marriott setup to back up Hyatt? Uh, that's a tough question, man. 'Cause that's something we kind of all go through in our heads. Um, I have a Hilton setup. I have a IHG card. I'd have a lot of Hyatt points. I have a lot of choice points. I don't like paying for hotels with cash. So I think co-branded hotel cards make a lot of sense. But I don't know if you need a bunch of high-end hotel credit cards to spread yourself too thin. I think if you're getting the high-end ones, you have to really focus on that program because they're all worth it. But I don't want to spend $600 on a credit card and stay at Marriott once. So it's going to depend on your traveling. Chad Pennycuff wants to go see Cesar for sure. Let's do it, man. Chase, does that mean higher weight and lower reps? That's something that you can debate all day. But when I say strength training, I'm not talking about a guy in the mirror doing curls for 10 reps. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a bench press, a deadlift, and a squat, and trying to constantly get stronger in that 1 rep max or that double or triple. So yeah, lower reps, higher weight. And people can argue all they want all day about that versus a bodybuilding type routine. But had I started off strength training and not messing around with bodybuilding stuff, it would have been let me rephrase that. I've been in the physical culture for 20 years doing different stuff. When I started strength training, like powerlifting, I started looking like a bodybuilder. That's just me. I know it's genetics. We're all different, but I think you get way more benefit from that than you will doing curls or calf raises or whatever those jokers are doing that never gain any muscle. Chase, Google 5/3/1. Jim Wendler authored a book called 531. That's the only thing. Sorry, that's the only thing you have to do for the next 2 years. That's it. Jim Wendler's 531. Thank me later. People about the sub issue. I have a couple videos on how to help hit sign up bonuses, so check those out. We got a lot of different ways to do that. RV, if you had to choose between these cards, which would it be and why? Which sub do you value the most? Marriott Bonvoy Business Card. What's the Amex, right? The Chase Inc. Business Preferred. The Chase Inc. Business Unlimited or Cash. Those are going to, okay, throw the Marriott one out. So I think the other ones are superior. But it depends on where you're at and where your needs are. Do I like the Chase Inc. Business Preferred? I like it way better than the Sapphire cards. Yes, get that. Do I like the Chase Inc. Cash? I think it's the most overpowered card on the market, pound for pound. Absolutely get that. Do I like the Chase Inc. Unlimited? Not exactly, but it's got a great bonus. And I think if you want UR points and you're okay with that 1.5 floor, then get it. Marriott Bonvoy Business Card. That's down the line, man. That's if I'm going to go with the transferable currencies over Marriott points all day. However, that Marriott Bonvoy Business Card has 5 50,000 point certificates right now. So, and it doesn't count against your 524. So if you're asking me how to choose, I probably wouldn't choose. I'd get 2, at least 2. And if I don't have a way to transfer Chase points, it's going to be the Marriott and the Chase Inc. Preferred. If I already have a Sapphire card, it'll be the Marriott and the Business Cash. Because I won't just do one. If I can do more than one, I'm doing more than one. And since one of them's an Amex and one of them's a Chase, I might do them right at the same time. Like 2 different screens. Click. Julius, everyone praises the Aspire card and not many people complain about it. Do you think it's even possible for the Aspire to be roasted like the CSR was. Yeah, I can roast it. I can roast it because there's somebody out there who's not staying at Hilton's. There's a lot of folks out here in this game that love to quote different rules or different multipliers and different things like that. And they're not traveling a whole lot. There's a lot of guys who are okay getting the referral bonuses, the different things, and they're not really playing this game. So yeah, I could roast it. It's a great card though, one of the best out there. But I'd have to roast the Hilton program more than the card, I think, to make it funny and to make it to have any truth. Amex sends out 1099s for those certs. Yeah. You're right. That sucks. But they send them all out for the referrals too. I had a stack like this year. My accountant just started laughing. Had no idea why I got those. Kid Cat trying to hit titanium this year. Currently in pop-up jail. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, Julius, the 1099s will kind of hit that value. And if that's a factor for you, then get all the ink cards. All the ink cards. Love it. Love the ink cards. No annual fees except for the preferred. But no annual fees, no personal credit. Just big time cards. Dr. Vinny Boombats had to work. Glad you're here. This is the longest I've went so far, but I am glad you're here. It has been a great stream. We got a lot of cool people, a lot of cool people in here. Still have over 100 people in here, so we're going strong. People, what do you think they're going to do when they update the Hilton Amex business card? And should you wait for the new sub before getting it? I think they're going to make it very, very similar to the Surpass. And this is what I would do. I would get it now with the lower annual fee. That way, when they do convert it over, I get all the higher end benefits for that $195 annual fee. Now, you're also talking to somebody, I won't wait on any of these cards. Like when someone says, I'm going to wait till the city premiere goes up to 80K. Nah, I won't wait. It might not go up. And give me 60,000 points today versus 80,000 points 6 months from now. I'll take the 60,000. I don't wait. It's not real money. It doesn't gain interest. It doesn't work for me. I can't do anything with those points until I transfer them and execute a redemption. So give them to me now. Ricky says, when's the creator meetup again? It's a Labor Day weekend in New Orleans. Frontier just announced direct flights. I saw that. I saw it, and then I started to book it, and I kind of looked at it, and they want like $70 for a carry-on, and some other stuff, and I was just like, God, they make it so hard to like them. And maybe it was at Frontier. I think there's a couple low-cost carriers that are going there, but I don't have my flight booked yet, so I don't know how I'm getting there. Leanne says that's what she did. She got the Hilton business and the Surpass last year. Oh, hopefully you got them under the lower annual fee, and you're getting a lot of good benefit in that first year. Oh yeah, Julius, Hilton does have elevated offers today. So I don't know if the business card does, but they do have the Surpass definitely does. Ezra says, speaking of Hilton, I've had all the cards. Currently have the Aspire and 2 honors and the business. Would you cancel the no annual fee honors or wait for the upgrade offers? I wouldn't cancel the no annual fee honors cards unless I really needed that spot for a new Amex card. I would just let them sit there, especially if you still like staying at Hilton's, because a lot of people talk about the upgrade offers. I've never gotten one. So I would not cancel them, though, unless you needed to, because that upgrade offer might be pretty lucrative. Yeah, Leanne says the Aspire is $175,000 right now. It's pretty good. The Aspire is one of the few cards that I would recommend even without a bonus. All right, guys, it is 9:09 and Carlos goes to bed pretty soon. And my YouTube area is right next to his bedroom. So we're going to have to start wrapping this up. We still have 124 people here. And I know probably a lot more of my West Coast brothers and sisters, but we're going to give us about 10 or 15 more minutes. So if you do have a question, let me know now and we'll get it out of the way. But 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to wrap this up. And if you are here, 123 people, do me a favor and slap that like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps. They may push this video out after it's recorded. So other people that work, especially the West Coast people, if they work late, they can't see it live. So Aaron Taylor, any plans for the eclipse? I don't. I'm probably going to have to, since you mentioned that, I'm probably going to have to really look into it and find out. There's supposed to be a couple decent places in Ohio to go to see it. So, I may actually look into that and find out some more details. I'm ignorant of it right now. I know there was one coming, but I haven't, sorry, I don't have any plans. MK says, which Hilton card should I get first? Well, if there's not lifetime language on the Hilton cards, you know what? I would think with the way American Express is right now, I would just assume the lifetime language is coming, and I would get the no annual fee one first. And as soon as I hit the sub on that, I'd probably get the surpass. And like I said earlier, I really do believe if you're getting Hilton cards, you get all the Hilton cards. Get as many as you can, as fast as you can. Yeah, see, Leanne says she's not getting a upgrade offer to the Aspire. I never got an upgrade offer for any of my Hilton cards. I know people say they're out there. I know people that have gotten the upgrade offers, but I've never gotten one. And I may even downgrade my 2 Aspires to the no annual fee cards just to sit and wait on one of those upgrades. Stephen Lynch, what transfer partners would Wells Fargo need to get me interested in the ecosystem? I don't think they have anything for me there. I think the best transfer partner they could provide me would, I don't know. I'd say Hyatt is probably the most valuable one they would have as far as getting somebody to get their cards. But I already have Chase cards, so I have plenty of Hyatt points. And I can't think. I mean, if they had American Airlines, I think I would. I already have the autograph, so I don't think I would get any more cards. But if I didn't have any Wells cards, American Airlines would get me because I do enjoy collecting American Airlines miles. Because I want to fly to Japan on first class Japan Air on American Airlines miles. So I say American. Plus, they're my carrier I use the most, so I can spend them really easy. All right, Chase Yokoyama is going to go hit some calf raises and some biceps curls. He's going to do those bicep curls in a mirror in a squat rack like this. Going to get them biceps real worked up and all that good stuff. Thank you for stopping by, Chase. Appreciate you, buddy. Okay, Leanne says they added family language to Hilton. So that makes sense. I would start with the no annual fee card for sure and just work my way all up. So I guess that means I can't get the bonus on the no annual fee card. Oh, well, I have to use my player too. Oh, so Ricky's going to be in. Okay, it's going to be in Sycamore, Ohio, right? Right where the eclipse is going to be. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, Leanne says it's $100,000 for the no annual fee card. Start there, man. I think that's a great deal for sure. 100,000 Hilton points for a no annual fee card that actually earns 5 times on Hilton on those categories is not a bad earning card at all for no fee. Michael Pythium's a pop-up jail. Thinking about getting the Aspire regardless. Like I said, there's 2 cards I think are worth it with no bonus. And people will probably disagree, but the Hilton Aspire and the Capital One Venture X slash Business Venture X, I think it's worth getting those cards without bonuses. I don't think you should try to get them without the bonus, but Leanne's has her Delta cards have upgrade offers, and my wife just got um, an offer in the mail for Delta cards. So Delta is doing a pretty big push with those cards right now. Yeah, I try to keep my player two pretty conservative on the applications and try to keep most of them no annual fee cards. And she has a really, really good setup. We just got her the Sapphire Preferred, um, mostly for the bonus, but she has a really good setup. She has the Chase Trifecta with a City Custom Cash and a Discover It. Pretty good setup for no little to no maintenance. Can you do a two-player Hilton setup? Yeah, I mean your player two is eligible to get credit cards. Julia says they're reading the terms right now, and the no annual fee Hilton doesn't contain the family language. So we'll have to get to the bottom of that and kind of get down there. But like I said, I would still start with the no annual fee one. Leanne says she's taking player two to the Hilton Hawaiian Village for a 60th. We went there last year. I liked it there. I think it was a really cool place to go. I would recommend it, especially if you want to use Hilton points and you want a place to kind of headquarters while you go to different places in Oahu. Pretty cool place. I will say that when I walked in there, I booked a standard room thinking I could probably get upgraded, diamond status, Aspire card, all that. The room they gave us was awful. Here's how bad the room was. My wife said, go back down to the desk and upgrade it. I'll pay for it because I'm not staying here. And she doesn't pay for anything. So I went down there and they did upgrade us to a much better room. Still nothing special, but they did. And I even told them, I said, hey, my wife won't stay in that room. It sucks. I said, if you got any upgrades, I'll take it. If not, I'll just pay for one. And they upgraded us to a renovated tower or something, a newer tower. Does anyone think the Brilliant is worth it with no sub? I don't, just because it's Marriott. Yeah, Ricky, Delta Sky miles are tough. Julia says, for sure, Luke, Amex had a banner that I was eligible for Delta cards, applied and pop-up jailed. Ugh, come on. Oh, applied via the Delta website and was instantly approved. Yeah, there's yeah. Yeah, Leanne says Pops has to foot the annual fee if she's in pop-up jail. Yeah, Leanne got 2 rooms on points for 5 days and got the free night to 1. We ended up booking 10 nights on points, so 2 of them were free. Really, really good value as far as staying in Hawaii for 10 days for nothing, for no money. Clanging Coke bottles. Churners, it's all over now. Yeah, Amex is kind of cracking down on it. Leanne, I don't remember what tower it was. I just it wasn't anything special. And I don't remember what the towers are called. But it was a kind of a cool campus, and our room wasn't bad at all when they upgraded it. It was much bigger and newer. The first one they gave us, man, it sucked. And I was thinking, I don't care, I'm in Hawaii. And the wife was like, no, I didn't come all the way to Hawaii to have a view of a parking garage. I don't blame her. Yeah, Leanne, I think that's a good move. Get the Aspire, get the diamond status, and I really do think as long as you're polite and you're normal, if they do give you some not a good room, you can just go down there and say, "Hey, listen, I don't want to stay in that room. Do you have anything else? Anything you can upgrade me to?" They probably will. They didn't give me. I was nice and polite, and they didn't give me any trouble. And plus, the diamonds don't have to sit in that huge line. You might be there for an hour or two in a regular Hilton line. The diamonds go straight to the front. Was it the one with the tiles? No, no, no. We didn't get the tile tower. That's. I think that would have been more. We didn't get that one. We got like it was. I don't know what it was called. Tapia Tower, I think, which is kind of I guess the base. The timeshare towers at Hilton Village are the new ones. The timeshare ones those are nicer, I think. Kalia Tower, I think it was called Tapia Tower. I guess maybe I could look it up. No, I don't. No, I don't remember what it was called, but it was. But just know that whatever room you get, you can go back down there and say, "Hey, come on, can you give me something else?" And I think as long as you're polite, if place is big enough, they'll probably have somewhere else to put you. And it really is just easier for them to say, "Yeah, here, take this one." No, you know what? I don't know what the one I didn't like, but we ended up going to Tapia Tower. That's where we stayed. I don't know where the original one was, but it faced the parking garage. And it was old, kind of gross. It was like I really did not expect that. Aloha Danica. They sound like they know what I'm talking about. It's Tapa Tower. Anybody with Aloha in their name has a much better idea than I do. All right, guys, I am going to cut this one off. This is my longest live ever by a few minutes, but listen, thank you, Filmo. I appreciate every single one of you that came in here, and you guys are the reason we have such a great community. And just thanks. Appreciate everything you guys do, all the information that goes back and forth. And guys, have a good night, and I will see you next time. Thanks.